Hello everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be discussing about the Halo 2 remake and the Halo 3 remake. However, we mostly will be focusing on the Halo 2 remake. Now, obviously, they technically are official. I mean, they very much openly teased a Halo 2 remake at the end of Halo Campaign Evolved. So again, the main focus of today's video is to simply ask the question regarding mostly the Halo 2 remake. We will talk about the Halo 3 one, but again, we're really talking about both here, but primarily Halo 2, as I mentioned, is what can we expect from the Halo 2 campaign evolved, I guess. Are they going to call it Halo 2 campaign evolved, or I don't know exactly what they're going to call it, but what could we potentially expect from it? Now, first thing out of the way, we all know it's going to be an Unreal Engine again. However, we don't know when this thing's going to launch. And it could be around the time that the next gen console comes out. So by that time, they might utilize its full capabilities if that's the case, which that'd be nice, you know. Now, Halo Campaign Evolved, I do like it. I really do like it. I played the game, I beat it. You know, it's a really good game. It does have its flaws. I do think the prequel missions they made were kind of mid, to be honest, and they also kind of, at least those missions in particular, kind of had really sort of funky looking cutscenes. It doesn't really apply to the rest of the campaign. I think the rest of the campaign generally has fine cutscenes, but for some reason the prequel missions just have cutscenes, you know? But is to what can we expect? What will be done differently with the Halo 2 remake compared from Halo Combat Evolved and also Halo Campaign Evolved, my bad. And of course the Halo 3 remake that if it comes now again, it's probably not coming out for the next 2 to 3 years, not even 2 years, probably 3 years at most. Halo 2 has a much longer campaign and honestly a much different campaign compared to Halo Combat Evolved. I mean, most people know this. The Halo Combat Evolved, all the last few missions are literally just the first few missions, but in a different order. You know, and Halo Campaign Evolved did a good job at making those missions different. They made the library not tedious. They made some of these missions that generally are just going in a circle in different hallways very different and unique. Halo 2 doesn't have that problem at all, actually. So I wonder what or if they will do anything to make any of these missions different. Now, they might change up some things. Of course, any missions that involve the flood, they might add a shit ton of flood biomass. They did a really good job at adding that into Halo Combat Campaign Evolved. I'm not sure why the word combat evolved keeps coming to my mind, but they did a really good job, especially with missions like the library and keys and two portrayals. They did a really good job adding some flood biomass and that, really adding to the flood outbreak aspect to Halo Combat Evolved in Halo Campaign Evolved. Yeah, so um I'm sure first thing we can expect is probably new weapons. I would imagine that the AR will make its way into it. I'm sure of it. I mean, there's no really reason to not include it. In terms of other new weapons, though, I honestly have no clue what else could. Maybe the gravity hammer. I feel like the gravity hammer could make its way, and also we would see like more brute chieftains, like the ones that actually ran around with the hammers. We could see maybe the Mauler from Halo 3 make its way into Halo 2. Maybe. I'm kind of grasping at straws. In terms of other weapons, though, I really don't know. They could add some things that were cut from Halo 2 into Halo 2 Remake. Um, will the game include prequel missions? Maybe. I definitely think they'll have to do a much better job because I feel like when people do talk about Halo Campaign Evolved, not many people are praising the prequel missions. I think the prequel missions are generally kind of mid. Now, gameplay wise, the missions are generally fine. I don't have a problem with the missions themselves. It's kind of just the story behind them, and also not many people like Lieutenant Williams. Those groups of ODSTs, I understand its whole lore accurate. ODSTs don't like Spartans, blah 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 blah. But they did it in a really cringe way. They did it in a really really bad executed way, and it wasn't really great. But the prequel missions, they're fun to play. They're nice missions gameplay wise, and like environment wise and all of that. But story wise, the cutscenes generally do look funky, and I really do hope that they fix a lot of these issues that Halo Campaign Evolved has going into the next Halo game, which is Halo 2. Now, I don't know exactly if we will get prequel missions. I feel like that should maybe happen. I think it'd be kind of cool, but in terms of like timeline wise, is there much of I'm supposed to be a Halo fan. I should know this. How much of a time gap is between Halo 2 and Halo Campaign Evolved? Combat Evolved. It's not that much, right? I'm trying to remember, guys. I'm sorry. Okay, there's not much of a gap between the two games. Now, granted, they could make it to where it takes place a year before, and maybe it focuses on something else. I really don't know exactly if we'll get prequel missions, anything like that. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they'll make. I mean, maybe they could just add new missions in general. But I feel like the Halo 2 campaign is already knitted together in a pretty good way. I don't have any problems with the Halo 2 campaign. I don't think adding a mission in between another mission is a great idea because you'd have to find a way to make it fit. Because like, there's no like most of all the missions fit into one another perfectly fine. I don't know exactly if they would actually add a straight up brand new mission like that's in the campaign or add like a bonus mission like Halo Campaign Evolved had. But I'm curious as to if that'll happen. But we'll move on. Again, back to the new weapons conversation. I don't know what they'll add. I'm sure they could add some new weapons. I think it'd be cool to see some weapons that definitely were not in Halo 2. Like, as I mentioned, the Mauler would be cool. I feel like it'd be also really cool to add the DMR. I know the game has the battle rifle, blah, 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 but it'd be cool to see the DMR. Um, I'm trying to think of what else they could add, generally. There's a lot of weapons they could theoretically add. It's just a matter if they do. And one of my biggest complaints about Halo Campaign Evolved is a majority of the new weapons are legit locked behind the three pretty mediocre bonus missions. The Spiker, the Brute Plasma Rifle. The only way you can have those weapons in the actual campaign if you use the skulls that swap the weapons or swap your factions and stuff. But outside of that, you don't really find those weapons in Halo Campaign Evolved. I definitely do not want that to be a thing. If they do add bonus missions, please don't add new weapons to it and make it to where you'll only find those weapons practically in those missions. I'm just saying. I think that's one of the lame. I understand that brutes aren't even in the main campaign, and that's fine. Um, but like the battle rifle not being in the main campaign is extremely lame. It's extreme. What's crazy is they have it as a skin option. They have it as customizable in the menu. But what's the point? You won't see it in the main campaign. You get it in the prequel missions, sure, but it's not like it's everywhere. It's like it's not like you have it with you at all times. It's really, really lame that it's not in the main campaign. I've have used the skull that does switch up the weapons a little bit, but so far I haven't came across the battle rifle once. I'm not even sure. I've gotten the biker at random points, the beam rifle, but they added all these new weapons. However, they're barely in the game. That is an absolute L, and I really do hope that if Halo 2 Remake does include new weapons, they'll make it to where you rarely and practically never find them. Just saying. And also the needle rifle. The needle rifle is like really awesome in Halo Campaign Evolved, but it's not in the main campaign. You can find it really rarely, apparently. I actually found it once. I found it once on the mission keys, and that was it. I had it for like a minute. It was low on ammo, and that was it. I didn't see it once throughout the campaign. So I really do hope that if they are going to add new weapons, please don't be stupid and don't lock them behind the three missions that are fucking mid. Or better yet, just don't have bonus missions that are mid. And I'm not saying, again, they're fun to play. Gameplay wise, they're good. But outside of that, there's not much to it. Okay, the gameplay's fine. The missions themselves are not bad. But let's get back to it. I really do love the graphics in Halo Campaign Evolved. They're really fantastic. Another L is there not being a photo mode. I'm just being real. I know you can technically make your own by, what, is there a machinima mode where you can go into like a free camera mode? But why just not add a dedicated fucking photo mode? Why not just do that? Almost every mainline single player game has a photo mode at this point. You're telling me this game doesn't have one? That's another big thing. But Halo 2, once again, has a longer campaign. Not saying that's a big deal, but I wonder if they do intend on adding bonus missions or maybe adding, because they did this with Halo Campaign Evolved, is adding new segments to already existing missions. Like obviously we know the library was completely reworked. Will they rework any other missions in this game? I don't know. I could see them reworking a few missions. Maybe. I could see them reworking a few missions. But overall, I don't know. Again, we're still probably at least 3 years away from seeing this game. Possibly. Who knows? It's just, I wonder what we'll get from a Halo 2 remake. I wonder exactly what we might receive and what we'll get from this Halo 2 remake. Because again, they openly teased it. They openly teased it at the end of Halo Campaign Evolved, where Johnson openly broke the fourth wall, which is kind of funny. I kind of do like that. I mean, it's cool. So, again, what will they do with the Halo 2 remake? They're going to nerf the Jackal snipers. I'm joking. They probably will. Actually, I don't know. I don't know if they will. But anyways, I would imagine that we would see first off Brute Chieftains possibly okay. They're a big part of the campaign. I'm sure we will see them. I could imagine seeing the gravity hammer being added. That's a pretty likely weapon to be added, possibly. Um, Again, I could see also Flood Pure Forms making another return, and also I could also see the Flood Juggernaut, the legendary cut enemy that we haven't really ever seen. I mean, sure, people have modded it into Halo 2 successfully and even other Halo games, but I'm sure we would officially see it 100%. Which, if you don't know what the Flood Juggernaut is, it's this giant flood form with tentacle arms. It was cut from Halo 2, and it's kind of a Halo urban legend. Not really, everyone knows about it, but I mean, yeah, technically it's a legend, but I would imagine we could particularly see it finally officially in a Halo game. In terms of other new enemies, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we could see some other new enemies, maybe, but again, new weapons. I can't really think of any off the top of my head that really could be added. I don't know if they'd randomly add like a gun from like Halo 4. I don't think they'd add anything that crazy, but I could see something from like Halo 3. Like I said, the Molar being added, or I could see the DMR being added. In terms of prequel missions, as I mentioned, it's a big maybe. I don't know how exactly they'd make it fit. I don't think they'd add straight up brand new missions. I don't think they'd add like in between the camp. I don't think they'd do that. I want to add, if you're hearing music in the background, I apologize. Some fuckhead has some loud music playing, so I apologize. Anyways, in terms of other new content, I really can't really think of much what they could add and what they. The campaign is already fine, but I do think they could rework some missions, and some missions will indeed be reworked and changed a bit, just for the sake of making it a reason to be a remake. When they announced the idea that it's going to be all three games, I'm still initially slightly opposed to it. I only think really the only game that's really 100% did need one is Halo Campaign Evolved. I think Halo Combat Evolved, my bad. Halo Combat Evolved is a fantastic game, and I always love the original, but I do think Halo Campaign Evolved does a lot of good changes for it. But there's also a lot of bad because I don't. There are definitely some issues with it. I think for some reason the way Cortana is talking throughout the game, I don't really like her. I don't know. I don't know why. I just there's no. The way she talks is just really off. Everyone else is fine. I think everyone else is fine, but her for some reason is just really odd. But I hope they fix that. By the way, I don't want to hear any of that in Halo 2 campaign remake, evolved, whatever the fuck they call it. Halo 3 deserves a remake, well, deserves a remaster. It's already a perfect game. I really wish they just wouldn't remake it, but we'll see. In terms of the Halo 2 remake, I don't know what we could expect. For the Halo 3 one, as I did say, we will talk about it a little bit. Halo 3 is already a perfect game. Halo 3 is already a legit perfect game on its own. I don't know what they will do with it. Because, I mean, they have a really high bar for Halo 3 and Halo 2, okay? I know Halo Campaign Evolved is a fantastic game, but Halo 2 and Halo 3 are arguably better games. So when they do remake Halo 2, they have to find a way to make it either better or just as good as the original Halo 2. And especially for Halo 3, they got to find a way to make it just as good or better. But most people would want it to be better, and I'm not sure exactly how they'll do it. Halo Campaign Evolved already has a lot of mixed reception from the Halo community. It has a lot of mixed reception from the Halo community because it's not a one-to-one recreation. It's not exactly the same and blah, blah, blah. No one hates Halo more than actual Halo fans. That last part was a joke, but in reality, a lot of Halo fans just kind of hate on everything new, hate on everything kind of different because they don't like innovation and they want every game to not have sprint and have very slow movement and all that, blah, blah, blah. But that's besides the point. The criticism for Halo Campaign Evolved, a majority of it and part of it is extremely valid again. The prequel missions aren't perfect, they have a lot of flaws. The main campaign did a lot of good things, although there are again flaws with it as well. But I think there's more good in the new missions than there is bad, if that makes sense. As I said, the new missions have a lot more good. Not the new missions, my bad. No, no, no. The original, the campaign, the main campaign has a lot more good than it does bad, versus the prequel missions that are more bad than good. The only good thing about the prequel missions is I think the gameplay, the level designs, and the weapons. Outside of that, it's kind of and I guess the addition of brutes, I guess. But overall, so again, let's get back into Halo 2. You have some big shoes to fill with Halo 2 because as again, Halo 2 is a very beloved game. Halo 3 is an extremely beloved game, so you can't fuck up either one. I swear to God, do not fuck up Halo 2. Please don't. I actually recently just got a Halo 2 shirt. It's really cool. But Halo 2 is a very beloved game. You gotta nail it. You gotta do it really well. You gotta hit it out of the park with this one. So for the Halo 2 remake, they gotta fix all the already existing problems that were present in Halo Campaign Evolved. And they gotta, well, essentially evolve and do better. Alright, so one thing is, please don't make Cortana sound weird. Alright? That's just one thing. Please don't make her sound weird. Secondly, if you're gonna add new weapons, do not fucking lock them behind the 3 mediocre missions. I don't mean mediocre, but I mostly just be like, again, the prequel missions are fun to play, but I think I'd much rather catch myself just replaying the campaign than replaying those. They're also really, really, really long, kind of for no reason. They're still fun missions, but they're extremely long. I mean, they feel long. Maybe that's just a me thing, but they feel long. Overall, again, for Halo 2, we're gonna get into my final thoughts, my final points. So new weapons, I can 100%. I think we can all 100% expect that. In terms of what new weapons, I don't know. Here's kind of a list of ideas I have, at least. I think we could see the brute spiker. We could see the mauler potentially. I think we could see potentially new brute weapons. So as again, the spiker, the mauler, possibly the gravity hammer. I think the DMR would be cool to have. Of course, I think there's really no reason to not include the assault rifle either. I don't know if there's any other UNSC weapons I could think of that could be added to the game. I don't think they'd add a random weapon like the saw from Halo 4, because why would you need that? You already have, the SMG and the assault rifle. You wouldn't need the saw. That's a random thought. In terms of new enemies, I could see a brute chieftains being added. And if this game doesn't have flood juggernauts, that's like the biggest fumble possible. Please have flood juggernauts, because I mean the flood juggernaut's a legit urban legend in Halo, and we wanted to see it. It's been taken from us. It was supposed to be in Halo 2 and it got cut. So please include it. New missions, I really don't know. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't know if we'll get new missions. I could see potential prequel missions, but low chance. Maybe it's. I mean, it depends. I'm not sure if we'll get prequel missions. I don't think they'd straight up add new missions. I don't think that's gonna happen. But one thing I want to add: a photo mode. Please, please, please have photo mode. Okay. The graphics for Halo Campaign Evolved are really fantastic. As again, you see in Truth and Reconciliation, the mission I'm playing, the graphics are phenomenal. The environments are beautiful. And this game doesn't have a photo mode. Resident Evil Requiem added one after launch. Why can't Halo Studios do that? Anyways, again, they got big shoes to fill. They got big shoes to fill, with Halo 2 and especially Halo 3, as I mentioned. But, when it comes to like the whole, because a lot of criticism for Halo Campaign Evolved has either been regarding the prequel missions or the game has sprint. And I don't know why Halo fans care about it so much. To me, it's not a big deal. And listen, when people say, "Oh, well, you're a new gen Halo player," no, I'm not. I played Combat Evolved when I was really young. I played Halo 2. I've played Halo 3. I played all the games that don't have sprint, and I played all the games that do have sprint. I don't fucking care if the game has sprint or not. I can enjoy a Halo game with or without it. Alright, you can enjoy with or without it. And just use the goddamn score. Just don't press the sprint button. No one's forcing you to do it. Maybe the reason why some Halo fans hate sprints because they're built like the fat demons from Doom, like the big ones, the ones that have the two arm cannons, the Mancubus or whatever it's called. There's some Halo fans are probably built like that. It's mostly a joke, but some Halo fans are built in like multiple ways. They're either twigs and really skinny, like they don't eat enough somehow, or they're built like the big demons. It's a joke. But anyways, I don't really care about the sprint part. I don't. But it's not that big of a deal. But I do think some of the skulls in Halo Campaign Evolved are really fun, and I really do hope that one, they return, and two, they add more. Um, for Halo 2, again, add a photo mode, please. For Halo 3, add a photo mode, please. Um, Again, I mentioned the new enemies. I'm sure we could see those. I'm sure we could see new enemies in the game 100%. Again, Brute Chieftains, Flood Juggernaut is kind of a must, though. If you find a way to not have it in the game, that is a big fumble by Halo Studios. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Again, they got something. They got some big stuff going ahead. I mean, Halo 2 is a big game, longer campaign. You know, I'm sure we could, when it comes to like the missions being reworked like they were in Halo Campaign Evolved, I could see a few missions potentially getting that little rework button. Maybe, you know, change some things up with some of these missions. But at the end of the day, I don't know how much or what would be changed in some of these missions. I think majority of the Halo 2 missions play just fine. Um, but, you know, I mean, I'm sure they'll find a way to maybe buff the Jackal snipers. But they also nerfed the Halo campaign evolved with Rocket Flood. And if you don't know how, it's because they literally add a little glowing light to the rocket launcher so you can tell when the Flood has a rocket launcher. Now, granted, I don't like being blown up by the rocket flood completely out of nowhere, but it was also really funny. It's also really funny to see your friends get blown up by the rocket flood. And when I was doing my campaign evolved playthrough, I didn't get blown up once by a rocket flood. Actually, no, maybe I did, but it wasn't that often. Please rebuff them in Halo 2. All right, please rebuff the rocket flood. And don't nerf the Jackal snipers. Keep them bullshit. Make sure every Halo player crashes out when they replay Halo 2 again. When they play the Halo 2 remake, make sure all of us are crashing out because we got sniped by a Jackal sniper right before the checkpoint. All right? Make sure they do that. Again, I really do love the third person skull. It's really cool. I'm sorry, that's off topic, but photo mode, please have it. New weapons, I'm sure we'll get it. New enemies, I'm sure we'll have it, possibly. New missions are big, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Again, this game is probably at least 3 years away from being in our hands. Probably. So it's going to be a while before we see it. Overall, I don't know what we could expect for the Halo 2 remake or the Halo 3 remake. I think it's kind of one of those things that we don't know what we'll get. But the ideas I'd listed forward, I think, are all common things that most people expect. I'm sure maybe, I mean, I really hope they find a way to really kind of blow it up. Not blow it up. Surprise us. Add something really crazy. I don't know. But Halo 2 is a really great, Halo 2 is a perfect game. And so is Halo 3. So my message to Halo Studios is please don't fuck it up in a photo mode. Please. I beg. I'm sorry. I mentioned photo mode 1,000, not really 1,000. I haven't mentioned that many times. But a photo mode, you have really beautiful graphics. And you're not utilizing. I know some people have found a way to make their own by using fucking machinima mode, I guess, but it's not the same. It's not the same, okay? It's not the same. When you have a single player game, or not a single player game, when you have a story mode only game, and it has beautiful graphics and you don't have a photo mode, that's a generational fumble right there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I don't really have anything else to add other than the points I've already made. I already made my points. You know, what could we expect? I already listed out some things that we could see. This video became a little bit of a yap session. But overall, thank you guys for watching. Let me know down below in the comments of what you would like to see in the Halo 2 remake, or ideas, or what we might expect. Please rebuff the rocket flood. I want to, when I play the campaign of all with my friends later on, I want to see my friends get blown up by a rocket flood. And I mean, it's still possible in Halo Campaign Evolved, but it's, you know, you can tell when when I play with them, I'm just not going to tell them that fact. Maybe they won't know. They might not know. I'm not going to tell them if they don't watch this video. Only to those people. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next video. More videos are in the work as again. My best case scenario for all NFL teams, part 3 is going to come out Friday, as I'm going to start recording it tomorrow. Other videos, I was thinking about doing like a review of Halo Campaign Evolved, but I don't think I would entirely do that now. I mean, I feel like the game has been out for a while. It's not entirely necessary, but I'm not going to be like every other Halo fan who's completely hating on in the game and shitting on it so much. I do have positive looks on the game, and I don't think it's a bad game. I don't think it's a bad game. Oh, it has sprint, blah blah blah. Oh, they changed the hallway. It's not, the mission isn't exactly the same. It's not an exact one-to-one copy. Oh my god, they changed it. It's not a tedious, repetitive mission anymore. How dare they change the library? I feel like some Halo fans enjoy the tediousness of the library. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video, and have a great rest of your day.